And for Sabir bhai, let me show you where you need to watch the that primary key and foreign key. So if you come to this channel here, if you come to this, can you see this video, primary key, foreign key? And if you go there on in the middle of the video, I'm just waiting for the video to come. Okay, so if you come to this part, just trying to make it to there. It will be soon. It will be clearer. So when you are viewing it from your computer, is it coming clear? Okay. Now can you see this is the residence info primary table. Now if you take a look, the first residence SSN, can you see how we declared the primary key? Okay, can you see like we have declared the primary key residence SSN varchar 2 size 11 and primary key. And then let me show you how we declared the foreign key. Now if you move forward a little bit, can you see it is on what is the 12, it is moving a little bit more forward. Okay, so if you take a look on 13 minute 54 second, you will get that statement. Okay, Sabir bhai, did you get it? Where you get the answer? Okay, all right. Now if you open the document that I sent you, page number, what page number, no, SQL needed for testing docs. There is a document yesterday, in the last class I sent you. SQL document, SQL needed for testing. Testing. That document, if you open the document, can everyone please open the document? I can make it a little bit bigger. See if I can. Okay. Now, please look at the screen. Can you see that? Can you see the first table, supplier? Please look at the look at your screen or look at the board where everyone able to open the document. The first table, the student ID. No, no. If you go to page 13 of the document, page 13. Okay. Page 13. Okay, so you can do one thing. You can put it in. You have a Gmail account, so you can put it on your Gmail account, and then you can get connected. But when you do Wednesday, anything, internet what? Internet issue. So the date, you will be inputting the date as quotation, okay. Today's date is 23rd, and then it is September, and then it is 2016. So the date will be like that. Basically the number of the date, dash the name of the month, three letters, dash the four number of the year, yes, right? Yes. Naved, can you see in the screen? Actually, let's say today is 23rd, you put 23rd and then September and then the date today. So I'm giving you a couple of more minutes to finish inputting data. When you are done, please let me know. Saeed and brother on the corner. Are you done? Okay, what about Saeed? So if you are done with the table while other are creating tables, can you do some? Can you practice some command like update command on the table that you have created? I did it. I had one mistake on one of the column, like put 13, but it need at least 15. So you already did it. I did it. Okay. Just do an update, change something and change it back. Just for practice. Mhm. And you will certify which one, which column? Okay. So here, just for now, give a person. Hmm? Which one? No, no, no. You get data. No. When you are pulling data, like when you are giving orders to update, there is problem. When you are pulling data, you give the field name, right? You did not give it properly. So take a look. Give me a little bit. Mhm. Okay, so now, guys, everyone, if you please take a look at my screen. Everyone, if you please focus on my screen. Okay, now please focus on my screen now. If you take a look here, see I have created one table called supply. First table I created is suppliers. Okay, first table I created is suppliers with a primary key. The difference from your table and my table is I have primary key, you don't have primary key, you don't need to. But last class we have discussed primary key and foreign key. I have to give you an example the way we discussed in the video. So if you take a look, just right now I will ask you to give 100% concentration on the screen here. Okay? Right now? Right now, yes. Now if you take a look here, the first table that I have created, yes, create table suppliers, and I have how many fields? Supplier ID and supplier name. And what is the difference between your table and my table is you use the primary key. I have primary key. Now let me do one thing. Let me copy this statement so that I can send it to you. Let me copy this one. So this is the statement by which you will be creating the table. Let me keep that SQL. And then this table, now if you take a look at the data, okay, if you take a look at the data here, data input, select star from suppliers. Now I have two data. One supplier, his ID is 1,000 and his name is Apple, and the second supplier is his ID is 10,001 and his name is Google. Okay. And the next table that I have created, orders, if you take a look here, can you see this one? Again, in this one, you didn't declare any primary key and foreign key, but in my one I declared primary key and foreign key. And the way we declared primary key and foreign key is like I discussed in the video that I posted for you guys. Now this one I'm going to copy this one as well so that I can send you these statements. Okay, this is for the other table. Now if you can see here, again our order ID in this table, order ID is the primary key, and then one thing I will ask you to notice, related supplier ID. Now related supplier ID, I declared this one as a foreign key from supplier table. Now this name here, the column name that I have given, related supplier ID, does it need to match with the column ID that we have declared in the other table? Does it need to match? No, it does not. Okay, it doesn't match. It doesn't need to match. Is this concept is clear? Related supplier ID. Okay. Now related supplier ID. See, as I said, this table that I have here, this table, um, this one, I have a suppliers table, and in that suppliers table, I have supplier ID. Okay, and this is the primary key. And in this table, I have orders, and in that orders table, I have a foreign key. See, this one is my foreign key, where suppliers.supplier ID. But it is supplier ID in suppliers table, but in this table, in the orders table, it is related supplier ID. So we give a different name here. We gave a different name. Can you see related supplier ID? In the orders table, it is related supplier ID, but it is referring another value from the suppliers table, and in the suppliers table, the name of the field is supplier ID. Okay. Now, Sabir bhai, so that is where we supposed to declare it in that way. Okay. So the first question you asked me in the morning, it was not matching, so we will be declaring it in that way. So the way we declare foreign key is, can you see, we are just using the extra thing references, and what is the table that we are referring? We are referring suppliers table, and what is the field we are referring? We are referring this supplier ID field. Is it clear? Not really.
So is it basically my understanding, the column name of the primary key and the column name of the foreign key, the does not need to be matched.
Does not need to be
As
matched.
long as you declare,
As long as you are referring it from.
referring it to relating to suitable,
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
that's all we need, right?
Yeah, that's all. That's all you need.
One more time.
One more time, I'll do that. Okay. What is it?
So it should be matching with like a supplier table to the order table.
When you are inputting data, data should be matching. But when you are referring, see, when you are creating table, this is the name of the table that we want to give, supplier related supplier ID. But this related supplier ID will be referencing supplier's supplier ID. But the name on the orders table will be related supplier ID. The column heading. Okay. So, Sabir bhai, it will work. It will work. Still, it will work. I'm just trying to focus another thing that in the foreign key table, you do not need to give exactly the same name. It could be a different name. I'm just trying to, yeah, name of the column could be a different name.
So the column can be different.
Different name.
But the values have to be
Values have to be matching with the original table.
So what do I have to write down over here? The reference or
Okay, okay. So it is in the table.
Right. The question is there. Data.
Let me answer the question first, Sabir bhai. Okay. Your question, if you take a look here, can you take a look in the board? We have supplier ID, supplier name,
Okay.
and we have data,
Okay.
and then we have order ID, supplier ID, order date. So what is look at the screen. What this table means? See this order ID. This one. This one is for supplier ID 10,000. That means this order was supplied by Apple. Does it make sense? This order that we received on that date is being supplied by Apple because see the supplier ID.
That's the relational value.
That is the relation. Sabir bhai, does it make sense?
I can relation between
Take a look at the screen. Take a look at this. Don't look at your. Don't look over there. Look at the screen.
can I say this is our primary key? Right. Before I
Yeah. Primary key and foreign key. Okay.
But my question is there. Column name, whatever the column name, data should be matched.
Data should be matched. Yeah.
Now, if I can declare this table, this column is my primary key, that table is my foreign key, no matter what, the match should be data.
Data. Table header.
Yeah. Whatever I like the column name, I can give it a column
Yeah.
name. There's a foreign key and a primary key.
Yeah.
Not available.
Exactly.
But when I can insert the data,
Then data should be matched.
what I already declared before. Is it clear?
Yeah, you are right. Now, Sabir bhai, look at the screen here. Look at the screen here. Can you see the first table?
Yeah, I understand that part clearly, but when I executed the code, what should be I write down the reference or you just showing that what is called? Just you show
PKFK, right?
no.
You have reference and you have whatever you say.
Just no.
Okay, can you come here? I can discuss with you here in my. Can you come here? Let me answer your question. Okay. See here. Can you see here? This is my supplier's table.
Right.
It has supplier ID, supplier name.
Right.
This is my orders table.
Yes.
So in orders table, in this table, this is my primary key, supplier ID. In this table, order ID is my primary key. This is my
Foreign key.
foreign key.
Right.
Now, can you see in this?
We can change this foreign key different name.
You can,
I
yeah.
understand. But when we are doing the executing
Okay.
the query,
Take a
I
look.
bring the query. So what do I have to write down?
See,
The reference
okay.
from the
See here. See here.
Yeah.
Can you see? Related supplier ID. I give a different name.
That is the question, Mike. We have to write down related
No.
or reference.
These one related supplier ID. I just give a different name of the supplier ID.
Okay.
The heading. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then you can give it supplier ID. You can give it anything you like.
Okay.
But if you mention references, what it is referencing to? It is referencing to supplier ID.
Okay. I understand.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now, okay. Now, what is the question? I want to answer all of your question. If you can ask me. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, primary key and foreign key. It will have difference.
এটা ডিফারেন্স কি এটা তো একটা হোমওয়ার্ক দিছিলাম করার জন্য সো did you do your homework so
I think the confusion was related to what related. When you put related, it was a confusion like why is the word related? So now I understand that the columns.
column name it doesn't matter
I understand the primary key and foreign key, but I was getting like referred suppliers. I don't understand about this one.
I will give you an answer but for your question primary key is a unique key that like let's say you have 10 records in a table so each of the record will have a unique field that cannot be duplicated right so let's say we have 18 people in this class okay 18 people and we have a table with our SSN and name okay and in that table right our name can be like let's say your name is something right your name is let's say what's your name Masud bhai your name is Masud there can be another people in the class whose name is Masud but our SSN will not match okay so how you enforce this one in your database table by declaring that SSN field as a primary key if you declare your SSN field as a primary key then only you will not be able to input a duplicate primary key in your table so that is what primary key does primary key makes a field unique in a table so that you do not input duplicate data into that field
Primary key is
So,
unique identifier.
suppose they give me like when they give me a table, they will direction us like this is a primary key.
yes they will direct us this field need to be unique
Oh, okay. Because we don't know like what is the primary key of this table. That's why it's like if I
yeah
say that this
see if people ask you okay create a um, create a student table okay then student table you will have student ID student name in a class let's say David you will get 10 David if it is a big class but student ID can it be same no so that student ID needs to be primary
so do we make the declaration or is automatic?
no you make the declaration by referencing the word primary okay
So the ID
ID SSN whatever you like you can make it primary key but you have to use your sense that which data is supposed not to be duplicated
I can put it name ID
you can put name because name multiple people will have same name ID normally ID should be the primary key okay okay hold on here now Masud your question how you declare foreign key right so foreign key is very simple the field let's say I have a table here let me execute a query in this table that I have let's say I have this table um, select star from orders okay now can you see that I have look at the column heading here order ID related supplier ID can you see related supplier ID and then order date now this is the column name okay this is what this is the column name now if you execute a query on select star from suppliers okay oh, I didn't give a space. Select now can you see supplier ID right now in this table it is supplier ID but on that table it is related supplier ID
column name.
but this is a column name right this is a column name you can give any name but when you are declaring it as a foreign key what you will have to do
if you take a look at the notepad that where I have copied the statement for you so that I can send to you. See here, when I am declaring this field related supplier ID, I declare bar chart to 10, and only thing to make it current, the only thing I did is I mention a word references, and then I give supplier ID.
Which table and table?
Which table and what field on that table. So by that related supplier ID, we are actually referring supplier ID from supplier's table.
You just use the related ID just for your just nothing.
Now, am I answering your question or you need further resistance? No, you need to understand this. If you need more explanation, I'm happy to do that, but you need to understand. Oh, related. See, related. Let me make this one minimize. Related. See, related is I'm just giving the column heading name. This heading. Can you see this heading? It is a just column heading name.
You can say created.
I can say relation, related supply, relation.
You can change, like you can, let's say on that one where I gave related supplier ID, you can give it like XYZ.
Supplier ID.
You can give XYZ, but order to and then referencing supplier ID. Yeah, supplier ID. Supplier ID. Supplier ID I have. Supplier ID is from the supplier's table. Related supplier ID, we are giving the name in this table as related supplier ID.
I put it, but it's not showing.
You didn't create it with related supplier ID. You created with supplier ID.
What is the problem is there right now? Their understanding like when you use the related, they are thinking about relation between both tables. Actually, it's not.
See, I'm just trying to tell you. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to tell you the column heading in the secondary table. The column heading it doesn't need to match with this supplier ID. Column heading, the heading doesn't need to match. Heading can be anything. Heading can be anything as long as you are referencing to the right data in the primary table.
Instead of related, if you're going to use Atlanta supplier, then they will say, okay, this. That is related when they are thinking about relation. It's a little bit confused. So why did you write down related?
See, I wrote down related to you so that you understand that in the secondary table the column name can be different. We are using same name, but we do not know that this name can be different.
Right. I understand.
Now is it clear? The understanding is clear. Sapir, if it is supplier ID here in this table, you are okay, but right? If I give supplier ID here, you are okay.
Instead of supplier ID, you write down that
I have that
it's going to go.
I have that contribution. The supplier, related supplier ID and the supplier ID, the primary key, the values has to be one values for each lane, am I right?
Yeah.
When you want by like 10,001. But for the foreign key, you can put multiple values. You can put 10,002 if you want.
Yes.
But primary key cannot do that.
Primary key cannot do that.
Unique number.
Just a basic database.
Yeah.
All the way left.
Yeah. Now take a look here. Now if you take a look here, primary key. No, you cannot give primary key. Same number. Foreign key you can, because foreign key you can give different numbers, because see here. You can see. Take a look. Take a look at the screen. Take a look at the screen. This 1001 in the foreign key we have twice, because these two order, both of the order is received from Google. That is what we are meaning. SSN. See, okay. If you put SSN, okay. Let's say the last class you have declared data. Okay, this is the residence info and this is the billing info. So for a in the first table SSN was primary key. In the second table was it is foreign key. So one people can have multiple bills, right? So you can put whatever bill he has, you can put same SSN on the secondary table, because one people can have multiple bills, right? If you remember our last table, right?
Second one is the first table.
Second one is the first table. You got it?
So yeah.
It will be explaining.
So probably you will have to do an example on your time. In that way, the same example, then it will be clear to you. What is your question? Yeah, yeah. The data has to be met. Okay, okay. Let me move forward. Let me move forward, guys. 5 minute break. Okay. So now it is in my clock. It is 10:04. So you come back. 10. Um, Naber, if you have question, you can stop by here. If you still have question. In a table, there will be only one primary key, but you can mix multiple columns to make one primary key. But primary key will be only one.
This one first table, and when I create table, then supplier
You declare supplier ID is a primary key.
when I make the second table, the later supplier, so whatever ID is the primary key, but the reference, and this one is a foreign key.
Foreign key.
So foreign key is the primary of first table, like this one.
Yeah.
So
Referencing supplier ID.
supplier ID.
But we gave name like when we are declaring related supplier ID, references birth chart 2 and then size and then references supplier ID. References by kita hoga na, only references.
References, suppliers,
Supplier ID.
ID.
Take a look here.
It is here
This is the SQL. So if you take a look here, so related supplier ID, this field is birth chart 2. Let me make it in the same line. Okay. Birth chart, can you see related supplier ID? This is the field name. Birth chart 2 and references. Let me make it. References supplier ID. Yeah. Any more questions? Once you created a table by yourself, then it will be
Yeah, it says no region.
Can you show this one is how you delete like black screen like this called?
delete.
Yeah.
So if
Like
you
error message. How you delete that?
oh no, you have to take it to the notepad and
Notepad,
then
then
you have to remove the error message.
Editor.
From here you cannot edit.
Command line.
Okay.
Okay.
When I will exit, then I will not get anything except my table. But there is another system to type it to cut and paste another place.
That is another ID. We are using this one. So if you press commit, okay, all of your data will be there,
That's right.
but the commands will not be there. So if you want to take the commands from here, so you go there, edit, and then can you see mark, select all,
Notepad. You want to use the notepad.
notepad, select all. He is using a different ID. We are not using that ID. We are using this ID, this command block. Okay, we are not using his ID. That is called IDE, but we are not using his ID.
I can make this ID.
You can use that ID.
Actually, it's a home.
You'll have to install that Oracle and then you get it.
They have it. We have it. Everybody we have it.
You have it. Okay, if you I think we have it here. If you go there in this thing, let me see what is it.
This is Oracle, right? NG. So if you go to this one, right? I think this one probably get started. I think you can type it over there. But we are not.
And that on the showing will be difference. What is the window? Window 10 is showing is difference.
Hold on. So you can use that, but we are not following that. So if you go to Oracle and start.
Home database home page incorrect.
So if you type here system manager login. So it is not taking our password probably. Invalid credential, let me type it again. System then so from here if you go to SQL and then SQL command now you can
But this system is not available in my computer. Can I check it on the?
I can
কিন্তু আপনার এখান থেকে আমি ইসের টেবিল ক্রিয়েট করার পরে ডাটা ইনসার্ট করতে গেছি তখন প্রবলেম
so we are not doing that one in this one we are doing it in command prompt. So if you are having problem with this one just avoid it.
yeah this one is look good
Foreign key, like when you have declared foreign key, you want to change it, like you will have to probably it will not let you until you know that this name is dependent on another thing. That is why you can change it, but you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So what is the problem with selecting it? I'll take it. If you click on your start button, just keep it like that. Click on your and then you go to your programs and number. So if you type here Oracle, type Oracle, and then Oracle SQL developer. If you go to your start menu again, let's do it. If you go to your computer, number,
So from this one, Windows 10 it is having has compatibility issue, right? So from Windows 7 probably we can. I'm not sure why it is possible, but we have the alternative way command tab. That is where we are practicing. So probably you will have to install an updated one to what is the operating system you have supplement? Seven. So to match with this one, probably you have to download updated version of software. Then it will work. All right. So what is your question? Length depends on how many, like what is the field of your. Let's say your order ID is 10 digits, then you have to have 10 digits. It depends on the requirement. In the actual field, you will have different. Okay, what is your question? Can you go to your supplier mention? This is nothing mentioned. The date is below. How many records you have in the order ID? So since you have an extra, how many data you have in your order ID? How many data? 14th August 30. That means that data is for which date? Can you do a comma select star from order? Select star from this three data for the order. And what is the data that you have in your supplier? Select. Now enough here, right? You are doing the now if you execute that command in you scroll down the bottom. So one of the days coming, full outer joint. One of the days is coming, and one of the days.
Hold on a minute. My son is coming down.
For example, corruptible is not there. Full outer joint. So what it is doing, you have a query as it is a full outer joint. You have to count, right? As it is a full outer joint, it is taking the date, but it is not taking the other field. Oh yes, 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 yes. Yeah. See, now I can feel it. It is joining data from both sides. Okay. Now your query. Hold on. The first, all everything is supplier ID, right? Suppliers dot supplier ID and suppliers dot supplier name, orders dot order name, right? Now suppliers dot supplier ID, order dot it is full order join. So your condition is suppliers dot supplier ID equal to orders dot order ID. Now as it is full outer join, so this data for this data is not matching. So as it is not matching, it is not bringing any supplier dot, because in the supplier table you don't have that supplier ID and supplier name for this date, right? So that's why in the right side and the we have a date, but it doesn't have corresponding. It is not satisfying this condition. So that's why it is not bringing other data, but it is bringing this data. It is bringing yeah, yeah. This is same thing. Can you see? You don't have any. So when the now I can follow the command right here. This right. So it is saying that suppliers dot supplier supplier ID where you can put that. So it is saying right here, right? This is the suppliers. Yeah. SCCP supplier ID 192. Okay. So now it will set that. Typically, the meaning of embedded ID means somehow what happened. This is supplier what happened. Full outer join from orders, right? So when we are talking from suppliers and then full outer join orders, right? It should be, you didn't mention the supplier table. Did you mention that? No, that was my question. I mean, right here it doesn't say the See, from suppliers and then orders. You only mention from orders and then.
Oh, I see.
You got it? Okay, go ahead. Okay, now let me move forward with the further discussion. We are moving like snail, right? Yeah. We are moving like snail. Okay, so let's move forward. So one of you asked me question regarding how I can get this window. So this window again, it will not work in Windows 10. But if you go to your all programs, you don't need to go to right now. I don't want to spend time on that. But if you go to Oracle database 10G, and then if you come here, that go to database homepage, that is where you will get that window. Okay, but you don't need to go right now from on that one. Now, let me I have in the supplier, I don't have all the data in the supplier table. So what I first of all I'm going to input all the data in my supplier table. So this is my supplier. Let me input some more data in my supplier table. Do I have any more data? Okay, supplier ID, supplier name. So I have two more supplier. One is Microsoft and another one is NVIDIA. So let me input those data. So if I just go up, insert into suppliers. Insert into suppliers, and what is the values? Let's say one is 1002, actually 10,002, and the name is Microsoft. And then let me import another one is 1003, and okay. Now if I do a select statement, select star from suppliers, okay. So this is what I have in the suppliers. Now select star from orders. Now this is what I have in orders table. Now is it matching the orders table? Is it matching with the supplier table? My order table is.
We are trying to do full join, right?
We'll do all kind of join. We'll start from the beginning.
So
Now,
when we start, can you please explain one by one?
yeah, I'll be explaining one by one. Now, in the let me start from here, from the left join, or okay. So if you come here, this is my two table where I have supplier. In the first table I have supplier and supplier name, and in the second table I have order related supplier ID and order date. And if you can see, the related supplier ID is matching with the primary key, but this one I will make this one. Can you see this one? I'll make this one 10,002. So I'll do a update command, update orders set related supplier ID equal to 10,002. Okay, where order ID equal to 50127, and then 5001. Yeah. Okay. Now if I do select star from suppliers. First I will bring suppliers. It is bringing all the data from suppliers. Now select star from orders. Now we can see three orders are related to three suppliers. The first order is related to Apple. The second order is related to Google, and the third order is related to Microsoft.
I have a question. When you updated before into no.
No. See, when we update it, we input a valid data. That's why we were able to update it. If you put 10,004, we will not be able to do that because it is related by the reference.
It's not existing in primary.
See, what did I update? I made it 10,002.
Yeah.
I was able to do that because 10,002 is
But it existed in the
primary
primary.
key. If it doesn't exist in the primary key, then you cannot do it. Because if you do not have a supplier, you cannot put that
if you do not have corresponding supplier, if you put a supplier ID here, it will not make.
Like anybody wants to supply in Walmart, but first they have to be in the primary table.
No,
Listed as a supplier.
anybody cannot supply to Walmart, right?
No, they have to be listed first.
So yeah, they have to be listed first. So this is where they need to be listed. If they are in that place, then only they will be.
Then they can physically do the supply.
Because you can supply to a local store who takes everything to sell, but you cannot go to Walmart. Walmart has a database who can supply. But local store, they do not have a database probably. That's why people can supply.
Just walk in and show the product and buy it. Locally,
Supplier will get your money and then say, "Yeah, all this."
Okay, let me move forward. Now, if I do a command, let's say select supplier. Actually, let me do it in that way. Select supplier ID, okay, comma, actually select order ID. You don't need to type anything, just follow in the screen because you need to understand this. Select order ID and then supplier ID, okay, and then supplier name, and then what is the question again? Supplier ID and order ID data can accept. This is, we will be collecting data from multiple tables. We are trying to, like, we have two tables where we have different data, but we are now trying to combine data from these two tables. So let me execute the query, and then if you have still that question, I'll answer that question. Now supplier name, and then from that table, order date. Okay. From where? From suppliers, comma, orders, and then where what is the condition? Suppliers dot supplier ID. Supplier ID, there should be supplier ID equal to orders dot related supplier ID. Okay. So what is saying that orders related supplier ID invalid identifier, right? So related identifier, we will have to see what is the name on that field. Let me see dash. Let's see dash orders. Okay. Now it is related supplier ID and then order ID, order date. Okay. So it is saying that
Put S. Without the S.
no.
the supplier, SCPP,
Line 2.
I
Can you see? Yeah. Now I see. Okay. Now, so this one, if I put the I here, right? Okay. Okay. So
So we done another thing that in order to put that column name, you don't have to put the table name.
no. If your column name is unique, you don't need to put supplier. If you, let's say we have supplier ID in both tables, then you have to put supplier dot.
Okay, I get it.
You got it?
Yes.
If the column name is different, you don't need to.
Yeah, but now I can understand why you changed the rated supplier
Yes,
ID.
yes.
Because of this, that it's not
Yes, I want to make like
Easier.
easier.
Exactly.
So if you have supplier ID in both tables, then you have to mention supplier dot supplier.
Table name mentioned.
That's
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Now
So
take.
in that case, let's say there are three columns in the first table, three columns in the second table. Now,
only two column is not unique.
Mhm.
So whenever you just selecting that, if
If
you
you
selecting that not unique column, so can we
you will have to give that
only
supplier.
for that particular
Only
one,
for
but
that
others we can still
as other still you can, yeah.
you can use the just name, not
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
because as soon as we relate that from table, they will figure it out.
Yes.
So previous one when they are like finished every table, there is not like this.
We
In
table
the
name.
previous one,
Mhm.
we use table name and column name.
Yes.
So only for like the is
Yeah, but in this one, can you see if you look at these names here is not matching with the. That's why we are giving it that way. Okay. So,
No, but they're not matching. It was not even matching before too.
No,
Yeah.
but we use the
but
primary key and foreign key.
still you can use that supplier ID,
But which will work?
which will work.
Will work. It
the
will
common
work. So it's not a question because we did that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but my question right now said because it's a matching. The question of matching of the column comes only between primary key and foreign key, normal key,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Mhm.
So let's say I'm asking two columns from first table, two columns from second. Out of these two, one is matching, other two is not matching. So the columns not matching, we don't have to write down table name on that two
No.
columns.
No.
But the other two, we have to.
You have to.
We can still do that.
Otherwise it will
It will
show an error ambiguous.
Right. Okay.
Now, what is my understanding is that like before we use it like this suitable join because we have to match everything same column name same all the data. But right now because we are using the primary key and the foreign key which are related, that's why it no matter because whatever the name I give the column, whenever I write down, if there is no matches, I can write down directly, not to use the table name.
Yes.
Technically, foreign key and primary key has nothing to do with this discussion because there is no foreign key, no primary key at all. But you still have two tables, and it still is asking to select the two columns. And like in this particular, command that we have done it, select order underscore ID, right? Order ID, comma supplier ID, right? Now let's say the supplier ID and what is the related supplier ID?
Yeah, related supplier
If
ID.
it was not related, the same supplier is supplier. So in that particular case, we had to write down
We'll have
supplier dot supplier ID,
supplier ID.
Yeah.
right? And the next one we have to write down order supplier ID.
Order supplier
But
ID.
other two columns still we could write down without table name.
Yes.
So this is the advantage that when you change the column name, it will be advantage to write down the query, is that?
Yes. Okay. Now, when I executed that query, can you see in the first table how many rows I have in the first table? 4.
I have a question. Just we executed this query. What is the
Okay, this is normal join. This is inner join. This is called, hold on guys. The first thing that I started is inner join, or if you normally write join or inner join, they both work in the same way. So in this table we did inner join or join. Where we get only common data between these two tables.
we already did it in the we did it out of right now, what is the new things we are learning?
Okay, so the new thing you already did, but you did it with using plus sign, right?
That is the outer join.
Okay, for outer join, but you did it with using plus sign in left side or right side. But here, what we are learning, we are using those keywords: join, inner join, outer join. So we are using this keyword instead of using plus. How you can do it with these keywords?
That's why Dr. Verma, if you explain those, because I don't understand those. Welcome to the class. I don't understand that what are the different joins meaning actually. I'm kind of understanding.
Yes. Now again, some of you has confusion about how joins work. This is another chance for you guys. As these topics frequently you will see you are getting questions in the interview regarding join. So we are trying to make your understanding clear. If you have some confusion on how join works, so this session is to make your understanding a little bit more clearer from the previous understanding. Okay. Sabri, did I answer your question?
This was just a regular join, like regular
Okay,
join.
this is regular join, inner join. Okay, what is the other thing?
No, it will be okay. Still, I should probably, it will be okay when they watch again your video.
Yes, this video is being recorded. Okay, so you can take your own time in home, and then if you have any question, you can check
But
it.
you want to explain those different.
Okay, yes. Now, first thing that we are going through, it is join or inner join. That actually does what it does. It takes only common data from both tables. Now, let's see. In the first table, we have 4 records: 1000, 1001, 1002, and 1003. In the second table, can you see how many supplier ID we have? 1000, 1001, and 1002. 3. 3. In the first table, how many? 3, right? First table we have 4. In the second table we have 3. Now if you come here, if you see, it has combined data from these 2 tables. First it took the corresponding order ID, and then the supplier ID of the order, and then the supplier name and the order date. And can you see it has taken only the common fields? Common fields. So that is what inner join or normal join, that is what join. It takes only common data between the tables.
But my question is that this is inner join, right? Inner join means only the common data between the two tables, right? Now, in the whole command, there is no word say inner join. So how do you
See,
say inner join?
you do the way we did it, we didn't use that keyword. We did it normal way, but I'm going to use that keyword.
Okay. That's
But
what
if
I
you
was-
do it in that way, it will work. It will do the same task.
But when you use the keyword,
I'm going to do that.
then it will do automatically what you mean.
Okay. Let me do it now. Okay. Now let's do one thing here. Okay, and then let's do a left join. Now, can anyone tell me what is left join? What is left join?
That's the outer side.
See, left join, if you say left join, left outer join is same. Right join, right outer join is same. Full join, full outer join is same. Okay? Remember, left join, left outer join is same. Right join, right outer join is same. Full join, full outer join is same.
Anyway, you can put like two tables and give us practically the result. What is the inner join would mean, what is the outer join would mean, what is the full join would mean.
Sure. Okay, let me do that.
Please. Yeah, I think to me it will help a lot just to understand the principle.
Okay, so this is the 2 tables that we have, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you have seen when we did this, when you executed this statement, it did the inner join for us. Inner join or common. Now if you do it by using the keyword, let me show you how you do it in the keyword. From suppliers join, from suppliers join orders on suppliers dot supplier ID equal to orders dot
suppliers ID. So what is saying? So command not properly ended. So let me see which command did not. Line 2, right? From suppliers join orders on suppliers dot supplier ID orders dot oh yeah. So no. In orders we give a different name, right? From orders dot related supplier. It's a big problem. Okay. Now what is saying? 2E. Let's see. So this is my first line from suppliers. Oh, see, this is the problem. From suppliers join orders, okay, on suppliers dot supplier ID equal to orders dot related supplier ID. Now that is how we did the same thing that we did in the previous one, but in this one we did join, that is common join, using the keyword. See, if you mention rather than join, if you okay, let me do it again. If you do inner join, right, and then if you come to the next line, inner join orders on, okay. Now if you do it, it will do the same thing. So that means okay, left join we didn't go through yet. Let me finish this part. This part is join and inner join is same, but what it will do, join and inner join will bring the common data between these two tables. Okay, is this understandable? Do you have any question? Okay, what is the question?
Why do we put the why do we put the column name then? Because we are just joining anyway. So why have to mention the column name then?
Which one?
The select. Yeah.
Order ID, supplier ID.
Right. That's because when you're selecting is
Joining which data you want to bring. Like if you want to bring, like if you mention only order ID, supplier ID, you don't need to bring other thing. It depends on what you need to display. Whatever you want to display, you will be writing those field names. Let's say, let me do one thing. I don't want to bring that order date. Okay.
if I want to bring like on the common, that's what it is, right?
No. All the common means, again, all the common means row. Okay, for what is the common row?
Right.
Now in the common row, if you do not want to bring,
Before I go, I have a question related.
yeah, I'll answer your question. Give me 1 second. Now, take a look here. Okay, join, or we are saying inner join. Okay, and then okay. Now this one inner join, but I don't want to bring this date. I don't need to bring this date. Okay, and then I want to bring that from a join orders on sub. Okay, now can you see I didn't bring? It depends on how many fields you want to bring. Now common means, what is the common row? Common means what is
What
the
is the common row?
Most of it.
common rows? common field, but what are the fields you are to bring? Okay, did I answer your question or any more explanation?
Say the last sentence again.
Okay, see here, that order A, right? Now, if you take a look here, I'll answer your question. Hold on. If you look here, by common we are meaning where we have in both table we have this. See, we have mentioned on. Okay, we have a word on what? On supplier ID. Now, if you mention supplier ID, now in both table we have this supplier ID. Can you see? We have this supplier ID. These three. So this means on means this common supplier ID, not this 10,003. And then you can bring as many column as you want. You can bring even one column.
As many as columns you can bring on the basis of the relationship of the primary and point key or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you are giving after on.
Okay.
Okay.
That will also recorded date, so you don't see all the data.
Yes. Okay. What is the
My
question?
question is that when we use this past table to join it, like we use the where statements. So there is a difference between the next one is instead of where statement, we are going to join an order.
Yes, we are going to join. We are going to use keyword join.
Join order. That,
Join.
yeah.
Join on. Join on.
Join on order. That's only basic
Yeah.
difference between the both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, Sabir bhai. Any more questions? Shamsu bhai. Then, yeah. What is the question? Which one? You are having this one, right? So if you take a look at your first table, probably is yeah, he will come. I'm not sure, but he'll come. Now, supplier, because you are mentioning this is basically bring it from suppliers, not from session, not from order. You will have to put. So if you put so yeah, the way we are you mentioned specifically you mentioned what the supply details. That will be bringing from the but I will look at your details. Not here. I will be looking at it later. But first here. Okay, guys, if you take a look here in the screen, now let me move forward. That is how by using keyword you do inner join or normal join. Now let me go to left join. Okay.
The outer side, the left join.
Left join. Left join, left outer join, they are same. Left join and left outer join will same.
Now we have done the inner join, right?
Just inner join.
Or regular join.
Regular join. Now let's go to my next one, left join. So if I do left join in these two tables, what will be the normally when you use plus, how do you use plus? Sabir bhai, can you tell me like when you do it using plus, where do you like if you want to do a inner join in this left join in this two tables, how will you do that? So which side you will be putting plus?
Like left side is a 1003. Number is missing, so I plus over here.
Hold on. So I will be expecting these answers from you guys because you did it. But let me execute that query first. So here from suppliers, comma orders, and then I will give a where statement. Where supplier dot supplier ID hold on equal to orders dot related supplier ID, right? Now I want a left join, so which side I will put the plus?
Right side. Right side now whatever table has the lesser amount of data, we put a plus sign on that.
So my question is, I'm doing a left join. Now to do a left join,
Right.
which side I will put? Which side I will put the plus?
Left side. So order.
Okay. Okay. Now when you do left join, remember one thing. When you are doing left join, so you are bringing first. You are bringing all the common data. Okay. When you are doing left join, first you are bringing all common data, and then they are asking left, bring more data from left side if it is there. Now left join, first thing they are asking bring all the common data, and then if you have extra data in the left side, bring it. Now remember
What is the left side in that command, particular command, where the relationship that we are declaring? In that relationship, the left side one we talking about, right?
yeah, so you are saying that you will be putting a plus on left side?
No, we should be putting on the right side in order to get the extra data from the left side.
Left side. So it means when you are doing left join, you are doing it in that way.
Right.
In that way, first thing, select everything on,
Column.
bring common, everything common from right hand, left hand, and whatever you have in right side, plus bring the uncommon data from left side. So let me show you how you will be writing it. So if you come here, we are saying, see, this is the right side table, right? Put a plus here because you want to bring all the common from the left and right, plus bring extra from right side, plus bring extra from left side. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, does it like the thing that we want to discuss here, is it like understandable? So we are saying bring all common data, left and right, bring all common data, plus add extra data from left hand
So
side.
another word, this is full join.
Now this is left join.
This is left join.
This is left join. Now it is saying that supplier ID, what is the invalid identifier? Suppliers. So I have a wrong name in the table, right?
Suppliers.
Yeah, I have a wrong name in the suppliers. Now take a look here. Suppliers. Now if you take a look, can you see in the left table we have a extra supplier ID and supplier name that we do not have in the right side table. So what we are saying in the left join, bring whatever you have common between these two plus add uncommon data from left hand side with common data.
Is it a basic understanding that which table is the more data, we're going to put it in the first, but then which are the less data, we're going to put the plus.
It doesn't matter. It means if you do left join two tables, okay? If you do left join, if you have in the left hand side, let's say left hand side you have a table. If you look at this parenthesis here, if you look at this statement here, can you see this equal sign?
Yeah.
It is depending on this equal sign. What you have in the left hand side? What do you have in the left hand side? This supplier table. Yeah, and we have in the right hand side you have another table. Now when you do left join, you put the plus on right hand side. When you do right join, you put the plus on left hand side.
So it will bring the data from the order related supplier table, right?
Yes.
To the right side.
Yeah. So if you put, let's say you put in right hand side, that means in the right hand side only it will bring common data plus it will bring uncommon data from the left hand side. Why? Okay, that is how left and right join works. Okay, in left join you put the plus on right hand side. In right join you put the plus on left side.
In the same command, if you put the sign on the left side, yeah, you can bring a three data then. Let's try.
I will do that. I will try that.
So it will be mention the left join to the left join.
No, it is a. I'll answer your question. It is a basic understanding. If you need to bring all the data from left hand side, but you want to bring all the data, only common data from right hand side, then you do this. If you want to bring all the data from if you want to bring all the data from right hand side, but common data from left hand side, you put common data from left hand side, right? Yes. So if you say left join, remember again, if you say left join, means
exactly opposite.
Okay, hold on. If you say left join, that means bring everything from left side. Bring everything from left side plus only common data from right side. So in the right side we have less data, right? It will from the right side it will bring only common data. That means it will not bring uncommon data, right? If you say left join, it will bring all the data from left hand side, left join. But from right hand side it will bring only common data. That means right hand side it will have less data. So that's why we are asking right hand side bring the common and plus bring all the data from left hand side.
If it is left join, we're going to use go for the right hand.
We're gonna put the plus on the right hand side.
If it is right join in the left side.
Yeah.
The exactly like when we read the for example this holy book, we're going to go from the left side to this side. Exactly we are getting the data from this the left side.
Actually, don't relate it over there.
I'm just explaining to you that exactly that if anything in the left side coming, we're going to use the right plus, then I can get the left side data.
When you say left join, you are bringing more data from left hand side and less only common data from right hand side. Okay, and you are putting the plus in the right hand side. When you are doing left join, you are bringing all the data from left hand side and only common data from right hand side, and you are putting the plus in the right hand side. Okay, let me first answer this question.
Where supplier ID class.
Okay, if you put class in the left hand side, then it will be a right join. Because it will bring everything common from right hand side. Everything from right hand side and from left hand side it will bring only the common data. Now if you cannot give plus and both. So the way one other thing, the reason we are learning the keyword, because you cannot, like, if you need to bring everything from both sides, you cannot do that by using that class. So that's why we are learning the keyword way, so that if you need to bring everything from both sides, we can do that. So what is the one thing I mentioned here before I go to the question? What is the difference between keyword system and that class system? I mentioned one point that if you use class, you cannot bring all data from both sides. Before I go to question, let me answer. Someone raised their hand from the right hand side. What was your question?
I was saying, if you do a left join, isn't it that we try and bring it common from the both tables first?
Yes.
Then the table that has more data, the extra that it has, it brings that one. Am I right?
No.
In the
Left table. If left table has more data, then it will bring only from left table.
Not that table has more data. Now, what about if the left join and the left table has less data?
Then it will bring only the common data. You are doing left join, right? Left has less data. It will bring only the common data.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. It will not bring anything from right hand side. Only common
It's
data.
not about the one who has more data. It's not about the one that has
No. It is about if you are doing left join, it will bring common, uncommon, everything from left side, but from right side it will bring only the common data.
Like
But
the
in
same
left
one,
side,
we can write the same way.
yeah,
Right?
I'll do that. In the left side, if you have less data, it will bring only the less data. That's it. It will not the extra data from right hand side, because we are doing left.
Yes, my first question is when we declare this why is this? This is the declare that our relationship with the other table. What is we being what is we want to see it? We use the where. Then declare that equal. What this table has equal this side. So right now, if I put it that orders dot related supplier ID equal suppliers dot supplier ID. If I do this,
If you put the, where do you want to put the plus there? Which side?
I mean there is come later on my question.
Okay.
But if I put it this way,
Oh, this one will bring only the common data.
common data. Now I put it as plus sign. Then order related. I mean order dot related supplier ID plus. It is coming the left side.
Left side.
Right.
Then it is going to be a right join. If you put the plus in the left side, it is going to be a right join. Then whatever data we have in the right hand side table, it will bring all the data from that one and only common data from the left.
So this is the where we declare the where statement. It depends how we write down over here.
Yeah.
And the plus sign.
Yeah.
What is we doing in left or right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. It is depending on the question you are asking. Look at here. If you put, look at here. If you put this one in this side and that one in the other side, right? Let me write this. Probably that will make more sense, because I think so. You are getting confused.
Then we can see the difference.
Okay, and then this is the statement. Here I want to bring orders. Yeah, I want to bring orders here. Orders dot related supplier ID, and then supplier dot supplier ID. Now, Sabir bhai, what do you want to do?
I bring in the plus sign in the the orders.
You want to bring that plus sign here.
Here.
Okay, now let me tell you, this one is going to be a, no, this one is going to be a, this one is going to be a, if you put the plus sign in the left hand side, it is going to be a right zone. So right zone, what it will do, it will bring all the data from right hand side. It will bring all the data from right hand side and only common data from left hand side.
So the result will be same in this case.
Hold on. So I put the okay. Now, can you see the output? Output is same because what we did here in the first statement, if you take a look in the first statement, we did supplier ID, right? Orders. We in the first thing we did, we brought all the common data from orders and then all the extra data from all the common and uncommon data from supplier. The first command. What do we did? We bring only common data from orders in the first statement.
Right.
Now, if you take a look here, by this one, if you put plus with the orders, we are bringing all the common data from orders. We are doing the same thing here, and all the data from suppliers.
Now it will change if you're gonna change the select
Okay.
statement.
Okay, hold on. Sabir bhai, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Now let me put that.
Plus sign on the right side.
Uh-huh.
Right now on this one.
So this one, and then this plus sign, I'm going to put it in this side. Okay. Now, if you take a look here, this one, what I'm saying, first try to understand the language. I'm saying bring only common data from suppliers and all data from orders. Okay. What I'm saying, bring all common data from suppliers. Now, what is the common data? 1000 up to 1002, right? And bring all common and uncommon all data from orders. So can you see
There's no uncommon there.
there is no uncommon? Can you see in the orders table there is no uncommon? So what, let's see what it does for us. Got it? There is no extra. Everyone got it?
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
You got it.
Okay. Here's the question. If there's a primary key, I mean, if there is a relationship, primary key and foreign key, then you can put whatever number of data in whatever table, right? But
And
when
then
have-
you will be see if you I will give you homework. This one you will be doing it. I'm going to send you a homework.
Okay.
And on that one, I will not ask you to mention primary key, and you will be inputting data.
Right, okay.
I will give you data as well, and then you will be doing it in the homework.
Because there's two things. If with the relationship primary key, foreign key, the answer is going to be different than the without relationship, right?
Yeah. Because actually, in relationship, you cannot input data as you like. You'll have to mention the rule. You'll have to follow the rule.
In relationship, there will be no extra data anyway on the foreign table.
On the foreign table, yeah.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
That's the point here, right?
Yeah.
And the other hand, when you have order like in the first one, that we are getting all the data. Technically, you are asking the left table
Yes.
because you're getting the common and all the uncommon from the left one. So what that means? Means nothing but the whole left table.
We are saying bring all the data from the left table, that is
Not
orders.
this one, the first one on top of this one.
Okay.
What are you asking that? That supplier,
Supplier ID.
not that one before. I'm sorry. Can you go a little scroll up a little bit? That you have this one. Yes. Okay. On this one, basically, this answer is nothing but the first table, right?
No, not really. It is bringing everything from the first table, and for the second table, It is bringing something.
They have no date or nothing.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, but it is bringing the supplier ID and name, but corresponding order ID it doesn't have
It doesn't
data
have
in
any.
the second table. So
So
that's
maybe
why.
in order for understanding, we can do that. That whoever has in the list of the supply, and whoever among them has no activities or whatever it is. So that would be the purpose of doing this data calculation.
Yes, see this supplier doesn't have any order.
Any activity.
He doesn't supply anything. So that's why he doesn't have any supplied orders information.
So I was just trying to understand practical aspects. Why should we really do that?
We'll really do that. Like we want to bring all our suppliers in a place and their corresponding order information. So suppliers will come. If they do not have an order, they will be displaying it here.
So we know that which suppliers they don't have the supply.
Yeah, we want to give them some favor.
Okay.
Guys, can you give us? You have to earn some money.
We can see that if somebody is doing that supply.
Okay, okay, guys. Let me move forward now. We did normal join with keyword and plus both. We did normal join with keyword, but left join. Now we'll do left join with keyword. Okay. Now, if you take a look here, if I come now, I want to do a left join with keyword. Now, if you do left join,
You want to ask Nijambai that he is understanding of easy listening us?
who?
Nijambai.
I think
He has any question?
Hold on. Nizambai, can you hear us? Hello? Nizambai? Okay, so what is your understanding so far? Again, reply. Could you repeat? I didn't understand what you said. You didn't. Again, your voice is coming, not coming properly. Can you say again? I cannot hear you. Can you speak now? I cannot hear you, Nizambai.
now, if you come here, so your question here, you want to interchange the place, right? Let me do that. So left join. So we want to do left join. So we want to do a left join. Instead of full join, we want to do a left join, but here we have to make some change in the where statement. We want to say orders dot related supplier ID equal to suppliers, right? Suppliers dot supplier ID. Now if it execute, it will give you the same thing because this doesn't matter. This on doesn't matter. It matters what you put in the left side of that left join.
That is last question is making the relation
Relation.
between
But the data is coming on what you have in the left side of this left join and what you have in the right side of this side.
So because left join means you're basically getting all the common and uncommon from the left.
Left table.
So in this case, our left table is orders, right?
Orders.
So common data plus the uncommon from the left one.
From the left.
So what is the uncommon from the left one?
Okay. If you take a look in the left table, can you see in between these two table 1003 and this data is uncommon, right? We don't have that data here.
If supply is the left table,
Okay. If supply is the left table, right?
then it's right. The uncommon is 10,003, right?
No.
Order is the right table.
See, this is the supplier table,
Right.
and uncommon is 10,003.
Yeah.
So that is what it is doing in our in our query. So that is what it is bringing. Can you see from the supplier table? It is bringing all the data.
Right, but in the command we put which table is there? The order is the left.
No, in the command in the left is suppliers. See, you need to look here when you it is you are when you are
That's what I have been asking.
so when you are putting plus, it matters here in the equal sign. But when you are using keyword, it matters what table you have in the
So
left.
basically, which table is left or right, that does not depend on the where. That it
No,
depends
no.
on over there.
The data will be coming on depending on the table you have in the left hand side on the left
Okay,
join
okay,
word.
okay.
Okay, all right.
We are not seeing any kind of changes because of this, because once the way we select the order ID, then we can go for the supplier ID and then expect everything. For that reason, when we are changing left or right, it looks like not changing, but actually it is going to be changing now.
Okay, so when you put right, in this case, then it's going to be all the extra data from the right table, right?
See, when you put right join, can you see the keyword right join where we have keyword right join?
Right.
So look at the keyword right join and look at what you have in the right side of that right join.
Okay.
So
And that is order.
that is the order.
So we're gonna have like all the common from both and uncommon from right.
Yeah,
And in that case, we're gonna have only three data.
three data. That's why it is bringing three data.
Yeah, because I was misunderstanding you in order to
Now
understand the place of the
is
data.
it clear?
Yeah, to me, yes.
Alright. So everyone, what about everyone? Who is watching mobile? If I see someone is using mobile, I'll take the mobile. You have to take the mobile by giving me $10. From the next question, from the next class, the rule will be if I see you are using mobile, I'll be taking your mobile, and you will give me $10. I'll go somewhere, doing something in the class. Okay?
So it's like a Guru Quad and now it's a
Okay. All right. So now I want to focus on.
It's clear now, thank you.
Okay. Let me go for a couple of more things. Now I want to bring another concept that is called alias.
I didn't finish the full one.
I'll finish the full join. I'll finish the full join with another example. Okay. Not with this one. Full join probably, or I'll give it
If you do the same example, I think it will be better for us.
same example. I did the full join, but it is bringing me same data as I do when I do left join because we do not have any uncommon data in the right table.
So what is the meaning of full join then?
Full join. See, full join. It is doing whatever it's supposed to do. It is doing whatever it's supposed to do. See, when we are doing full join, can you see full join suppliers,
Oh, you
full
did
join
already.
orders,
Okay. Yeah.
supplier full join orders? That means it is bringing all data. Can you see it is bringing all data from left side?
Yes.
And also it is bringing all data from right side.
Right.
So that is what it's supposed to do. But it is working as same as left join because we do not have enough data to display the difference
But the meaning of the full join is common and all the uncommon from both tables.
from both tables. Yes.
Okay, good.
Now can we use the plus sign same thing for the full join?
No.
It's like full join.
So you have to
You have
plus
to,
with
you
the
have to
whole
write
table.
full join.
So what about left join? Can you use the plus sign and right?
Yeah.
Can you not put like plus sign for both
Both
sides?
side no. Okay. Let me bring another concept. Alias. I discussed it in what? I discussed it in the where? Can anyone tell me? Alias I already have discussed. Where? Yeah. I'm going to introduce the word alias, but I'm telling you I already discussed it. Where?
I believe in the primary key, foreign key, put as pk underscore something. Put the alias? No. That
Okay.
was an alias.
Who watched the whole video that I supplied? 39-minute long video. Who watched that? The whole video. Okay. So probably you missed one table. I sent it. Probably I sent like 4 or 5 emails, so you missed one of them. But it is what in one of the emails. And it is in the YouTube channel. Keep following YouTube channel. Now, guys, let me tell you one thing. I send you a video, you got to watch it. You are here to get a job as a QA engineer, right? If you want to get a job, you will have to follow whatever we are saying here. If you don't follow, I will not follow you. Okay, it's very straightforward. If I give you watch it, and then if you have question, if you have 100 question, I'll be answering your question. If you don't watch it, probably I have the right to omit your question. I might not give you answer if you don't watch it. I'm very straightforward. If you can watch it, then you can ask me question. Be straightforward here. Try to follow. In the beginning, if I see you guys are, you guys have negligence in following instructions, that will be a problem in the following classes because lot of things will be available, right? So it's very important that you follow instructions and come in full preparation. Every class, we are giving lecture, but I will take feedback from you by taking exam. So I want you to perform good in the exam. Now, alias, I discussed in that video. If you have watched that video, you don't need to watch it right now, but I'm going to discuss it again here. See, the same query, left join, I will be writing, but I will be writing it in a very short way. See how I am writing it. Let's say, actually, this one I cannot make that much short, but alias, what it does, from left join suppliers, S, okay, and then left join orders, O, or whatever. And then what you can do, you can put O dot, and here you can put S dot. It will do the same thing, right? So what is the difference? Alright guys, I want to show you something here. If you take a look here, we have made some changes between these two statements, okay? What is the changes? Let me show you
the changes. So if you go to that edit tool, just put it in the left hand side, and then let's bring the other statement. This one, right? Mark, mark. So what is the difference that we did? If you take a look here, can you see the first statement that we have written without alias, okay? And the second one we did, sure, okay, and I'm not sure where it has come. Oh, no, okay. Now let me do deep view. Okay. Now if you take a look here, in the first table, both of the statement we have the same thing, but you can see that when I made it bigger, I'm missing some of the actually when I made it bigger, I'm missing some of the things, so I'll have to make it smaller. Okay, although it is small, but just give you a quick idea what we did to make alias. After from suppliers we gave space s, and then orders, after orders we gave in space and then o, and then in the relation, instead of writing suppliers dot related supplier id or orders dot related order id, we wrote o dot related supplier id and s dot supplier id. So if you take a look here, instead of after suppliers, can you see I have used s? So that means that supplier's table name I'm giving a alias name s, right? In some of your workplace probably they will call you AS or some kind of brief name. So I'm just giving a brief name to that table, and then later on I'm using that name. Can you see? Instead of writing order dot related supplier ID, I'm giving O dot supplier ID because I have used orders. I have aliased orders as O, and I have aliased suppliers as S. Okay, does it make sense? Now let me do another alias here.
You have to do that for only one time to give the alias.
Yeah, just one time where you are mentioning the table name, and later on what you can do, you can use it just the simple. Let's say
you can commit it and use the other day.
no. It is
For
just
one session.
one session. Now one thing, remember, a lot of time you are writing supplier dot supplier name, supplier dot supplier ID, so you can write S and then everything in the supplier where you are writing supplier dot, you can write it S. Then it will make your work easy.
So when you say like supplier dot supplier ID, can I write down S dot S?
Yes. S dot supplier ID. Okay. See, so let me show you one other thing. If you can, okay.
hold on. Now see here in the relationship, related supplier ID equal to supplier ID, right? So let's say supplier ID, related supplier ID. Now let's say this supplier ID. Okay, this supplier ID, if you put it SI, okay. So let's not make this one that much complex. But for now, table name. You have seen how we can alias table name, and then later on we can use that alias to make our work easier.
So we can alias the
Column name too. But we are not going for making the alias. The simple thing, alias, you are giving another name to the table, and then later on you are using that name instead of the whole name to make your work less complex. Okay? This is
Only for table name.
we are introducing this idea only for table name, not for the column name. Okay? This is alias, and then one other thing I want to bring here, the operators. Okay? Now, if you want to see, let's say select star from suppliers. Suppliers, no, here you cannot do that because in this query we didn't do that. You can only do that in that particular query. Okay, so select star from suppliers. If you do that, how many suppliers we have? 4. But we want to see if we want to bring only those suppliers whose supplier ID is greater than or equal to greater than 1000. How do you do that? Select, the query is bring all the suppliers whose ID is greater than 1000. Greater than 10,000. How? So select star from suppliers where supplier, see, one thing we can do, we can make supplier S, and then we can say S dot supplier. Okay, actually we don't need to do that because we have only one table, right? Okay, bring everything from suppliers where supplier ID greater than 10,000. Now can you see it didn't brought us 10,000, but it brought us greater than 10,000. Is it clear? We are trying to introduce some operators. So we have
to make when you create the table, you have to put that data type is number, right?
yes.
You can do with other.
No. You will have to, like when you are comparing, your data will have to be number, numeric. Now, my condition is bring all remember two conditions here. Bring all the suppliers information if supplier ID greater than 10,000 and supplier name starts with N. So what is the query? The query is bring all the supplier information where supplier ID greater than 10,000 and name starts with N. Now how will you do that? Can anyone tell me?
The same thing is on the right side.
Select
and
select star from suppliers, okay, where
supplier ID is greater than 10,000.
where supplier ID greater than 10,000 and supplier name like what? Like M percentage, right? Supplier name starts with M. Now no row selected. Can anyone tell me why no row selected? There is a Microsoft. There is a Microsoft, right?
Because of the small letter, big one.
Good catch, good catch. Okay. So it will be uppercase, right? So it is satisfying two conditions. One is greater than and, okay, and supplier name starts with N. Now instead
Put like or, then that would become all three, right?
all three. So if you give or, it will come all three. But now this is called this and or is called logical operator. Okay, this and or is called logical operator, and this greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to is called what? Called comparison operator. So we are introducing ourselves with two types of operator. One is logical operator and or not. Another one is comparison operator, that is greater than, less than, greater than or. Okay, now let me put greater than or. Now if I say greater than or, right, what will it bring?
10,000 and greater than 10,000.
Yes, equal to 10,000 or greater than 10,000. In this situation, it will bring, it will, no, it will, and there is another condition. Starts like, so if you remove that condition, supplier ID greater than or equal to, and then if you remove that and condition,
Then 12.
yeah, see, if you remove that and condition, now it is bringing all four because we are saying greater than or equal to. So it is bringing everything greater than or equal to. Okay, so operators, we want to discuss with operators. So we are introduce ourselves with two types of operator. One is greater than or one is comparison operator. Another one is logical operator. I want you to, I am mentioning one more page here. You can follow. Not everything from this document. You will see matching is not matching. If you come here, can you see these operators? Now operators, we have equal is operator, not equal. When you say not equal, right? This one. Can you see this one is a not equal operator? Then greater than operator, less than operator, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and then between. You know how to use between?
Right.
All of you, do you know how to use between? Between, let's say, let me give you an example. We have already used like, right? We have already used in. Now we will be using between. Let's say, if you say, bring, select start from suppliers, where supplier ID between what? 10,001 and 2 10,003. What is that? Missing? Okay. So it's saying that missing keyword. Now, what is the thing we have to do? Supplier ID between 10,001 and 10,003. Okay. So you can see supplier ID, whatever is in between 10,001 and 10,003 is taking that one for us, right?
Also include the both ends.
Yeah, both ends. It will be from both ends. It will be from the starting point and ending point. Now, what is the other thing? Let me see. What is the other thing I want to discuss? We have already discussed in. Okay. Did I discuss in? So if I, let me give you an example with in. When you mention in, supplier ID in, it will be like this. You have to give a parenthesis and you have to give a comma here. Okay, and then you have to close that. Then supplier ID, it will bring only information regarding these two. whatever you mention in the parentheses, it will bring all the information for those supplier IDs.
Very kind of selective.
Selective. Okay. Now,
Show the not equal.
not equal. Yeah, sure. So let me show a not equal. Select everything from suppliers where supplier ID not equal 10,000. So if it is not equal, if the supplier ID is not equal 10,000, then it will bring everything. Can you see? Instead of
None of them is equal to
10,000.
10,000.
Okay. Then if I say bring everything, now I will be bringing the concept of subquery. Okay. What is subquery? What is subquery? So subquery is, let's say I gave you a condition, bring all the supplier information where supplier ID is the maximum greatest. Bring all the information from supplier's table where supplier ID where for the greatest supplier ID. The question here,
Highest number.
yeah, bring all the information from the supplier who has highest supplier ID. So to do that, you will have to bring the concept of subquery where supplier ID equal to, now you will have to give another query, select, okay, select max what, max supplier ID from suppliers. Did you understand this query? See, I'm saying select all the suppliers, all the information from suppliers table where, what is the where? Supplier ID equal to, I didn't give any specific value here. Instead of giving, Sabir bhai, instead of giving specific supplier ID, first I am determining which one is the maximum, which one is the highest supplier ID. In the subquery, select max supplier ID from suppliers. Can you see?
Yes.
Select max supplier ID from suppliers. So that means, right? So it will be first, it will be bringing the maximum supplier ID, and then it will bring all the related information for that supplier ID. Now can you see what is the maximum supplier ID? Did I mention the maximum supplier ID 1003? No. First I am executing a query. To bring this value 1003, I am executing a query, and then it is bringing related data from the supplier table. Are we clear about subquery? Okay. So what is the term that we have discussed? Subquery, alias, operators. Okay.
Logical operator.
Join, full join.
Left line, right line.
Okay. So do you think we should go in a faster pace, like more
Yes.
faster than this one?
Yes.
So you are going to bring more topics with this time, right? We are still moving like snail without more time, more topics.
Moving snail or snake?
Moving like snail, not snake.
Yeah,
Not
he is
snake.
right.
We will try to move like snake, not like python. Okay. Not like python. Okay. All right. So let me see what else I need to cover. Hold on one second. So remember, we are wrapping up database session. As a tester, that is what you need to know. As a tester, whatever we are discussing, that is what you need to know. That period. You know, Norton what he said.
Yes.
Barack Obama born in United States. Period. Okay. As a tester from SQL, if I say that is what you need to know, that is period. That's it. And I was doing a class in it or something else before a couple of months, and there were the teacher specifically said some type of question you cannot answer. You cannot ask. Teacher said you cannot ask me this question. What was the type of question? Okay. What if? Okay. What if? Teacher specifically mentioned in the beginning of the course. You cannot ask me this question. What if this happened? Okay. So if I say SQL done, you need to get yourself clear about whatever we have discussed. And whenever I am taking exam, you need to give me reflection that you have learned. Okay. And you just keep yourself updated. You keep yourself, like don't forget those knowledge that we have discussed. That's it. Now let's see what else. First, I said to cover some other topics. So let's go. Okay. Now, um, order by. So are we already know what is order by? Yes, yes, you are right. Now let me go to a greater than equal to 1000, right? And then order by. Order by. Order by supplier. Let me bring it without order by. Okay, this is without order by, right? Now let me execute the same query without order by. With order by. Order by supplier. Let's do it supplier ID. And hold on. What I did? So I put like from highest to lowest. And in the first one, if you do not mention anything, normally it does ascending, ASC. If you mention DESC, it will be from descending order. But if you do not mention anything, it will be from ascending order. Now let me do another thing here. Supplier ID, order by supplier ID, actually order by, let's do supplier name. Supplier name. Okay. Now can you see it is the number is descending, but what is that? What is this mean? Supplier name n. Descending means n. It will take the top in alphabetical order. N come later. N has a higher. Yeah, from Z to A. N M G A. And then if you do, let's say if you do ascending, normally it does ascending. Let's do an ascending. Let's do an ascending. Okay. Okay. Now, can you see from Apple, Google, it is going A to N, A to Z. Okay. Now, if you input another supplier, insert into suppliers. Okay. Insert into suppliers values. Let's say supplier ID 1000, 10,000 volt, but given it with what? With, let's say, B.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say what is the supplier name with B? Big lot. Big lot, exactly. Big lot. Okay. And do I need to put? Let's put this way. Okay, big lot. Now okay. Now if you do select star from suppliers, okay, back in can you see alphabetically it is not properly. Now if you want to if you want to order it according to alphabetical name, let's say do it. Can you see 1004 is coming, right? AB. Is it clear? Any question? Any question? No question. Very good. Okay, so let's see subquery order by join using keywords, alias, DB operator, primary key, foreign key, unique key. Now, unique key, you can declare, let's say, if you declare this one, this supplier name as a unique, let's say you do not want to make it primary, but you want the supplier name unique. Okay. Then if you declare, when you are creating this table, if you declare this one as a unique, if you declare that one as a unique, then you cannot import any duplicate name. Even not making primary key, if you declare where you declare unique, primary key, if you declare unique, then you cannot input duplicate. Instead of making primary key, you can make it unique key as well. Okay, let me give you an example.
You can make as many as unique as you want, though, right? But only one primary key.
Only one primary key. Yeah, one other point to be mentioned. In a table, primary key will be only one, but you can make the other fields, every field you can make unique. But primary key only be, there will be only one field, primary. And in the beginning of the next class, there will be question. I will be asking you questions from this topic. Not written, I will be asking you questions, and whatever we have covered, there will be questions. We will be answering those individually, not writing, because it takes a lot of time. Now, let me do one thing. Let me create a table. Let me drop this. Let me try to drop this table suppliers. Drop. No, let's drop suppliers. Right? Okay. Yeah, I need to mention drop table because we have different options. Drop table suppliers. Do you think it will work?
No, because two drop.
Okay, drop table suppliers. Now do you think it will work? Drop suppliers didn't work. Now drop table suppliers. Do you think it will work?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your hand? How many do you think it will work?
Drop suppliers did not work.
No, drop suppliers it didn't work. Now drop table suppliers. How many of you are sure that it will work?
Then it should be table then, of course.
Okay.
So only two
What about you?
Yeah,
It will work?
yes. Should be work.
What about you? Drop supply didn't work. Because you have to mention, you can drop a constraint, you can drop table, so you have to mention.
Because there should be a whole database.
So actually this will work, this one? Yeah.
Yes. Now question here, will this statement work?
Yes.
So everyone is sure it will work?
Yes.
100%. Okay. Now, can you remember?
Where it's not working when is primary key like this, the supplier.
Yes. Now, if there is a primary key, it will work. But if you relate that primary key,
No, not work.
if you relate that primary key to another table,
It's not work.
then it will not work. This drop command will not work.
Not work.
Now, this supplier, we have a field supplier ID, and on that supplier ID, something is depending on the supplier ID. What? That foreign key that we declared in the orders table. So we cannot drop that supplier's table.
Did you declare it?
No.
Yeah, I did it. I declared it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I declared it.
We have to kill first.
Now,
Primary
see,
key.
drop table unique primary key in table reference by foreign key. It is a violation here. Can you see? So what we have to do in this situation? First, we will have to declare drop the secondary table. Now drop table orders. Okay. Now after executing this one, if you say drop table suppliers. Okay, now it is working.
So you're saying if the primary key, let's say we declare primary key, but we still did not make another foreign table. So still we can drop.
Yeah, we still you can drop.
If there is a table already existing.
If there is a dependency, then you can.
So it's the same thing. The second table may have another primary key. We will have
Declare the related problem. Yeah. And now let me move forward a little bit more. I'll take some 10 minutes. 10 minutes should be fine. Okay, alright. Sabita, is it fine? Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do a little bit. Let me create that table again. Create table. Suppliers. Okay, suppliers, and what is the thing we want to mention? Supplier ID, supplier ID. Okay, and then supplier name. Oh, data type. You need to mention data type. You guys learned it for not me. Maxi by teach you this thing, right? Okay, supplier name, and then you do not want to declare too much big name, because if you declare too much big, it will take a lot of space in the database. So you will have to declare it as needed. Okay. Now table is created, right? Now insert into suppliers. Now values. Let's say 10,000. Actually, let's start with 1,000. 1,000, and let's say he is Walmart. Okay, and then let me input some more data, and then let's give it 1,001, and then let's give it okay, and then let's bring another supplier 1,002, and let's give it what publics unknown command beginning. So what is the and then let's bring one. Okay, let's keep it free here. Okay, and then let's create the other table. What is that other table? Create table orders, and then what is the thing? Order ID, order ID number. Let's keep number or whatever you like. Number. Let's say, but let's keep 4. And then what is the supplier ID? I'm not giving a different name to make confuse Navel. Okay, so I'm giving the same name. Supplier ID, and then voucher. Let's say voucher 2, and then let's give it 5. And then what is the other thing? Date. Order date or supply date. Okay, let's make it order date. Order date. Let's make it date. Okay, and then let's finish this table here. Now insert into orders, and then values. What is the values I want to input? Let's say order ID. Let's start with 100 and comma. What is the supplier ID? Supplier ID. Now we will give the supplier ID from the other table. What is the supplier ID you input? 1000. And then what is the date? Let's give 23rd September. Actually, let's give 20 September 2016. And let's input it. Now the next one I want to give order ID. This is order ID. We didn't declare any primary or foreign key here, so we'll be able to input anything we want. So this is supplier ID, and he supplied on 21st. And then let's go there, and let's bring it house order ID 102 and supplier ID 1002, and let's bring it 22nd, right? And then let's bring another let's say okay, insert into, and then this one 103, and this one let's say no 1003, right? Let's keep 1003, right? 25. Now select start from suppliers. I'll do it later. How many suppliers we have? Three, right? Now select start from orders. How many orders we have? Four. But can you see we have an extra supplier here? Right? Notice that we have an extra supplier. But in the supplier table, let me do one other thing. In the insert into suppliers, and then I want to put supplier ID, another supplier ID 4, and let's give it as Best Buy. Let's give it beyond basic. Okay, Best Buy. Okay. Now if you take a look, select start from suppliers, right? Okay, let me take a screenshot. What do we use for a screenshot? Snipping tool. So this is our first table. Let me put it in here. Okay, this is the first table. Now let me go to the next one. Select start from orders, right? Let me take a screenshot. So this is my orders, and let me put it up here. Okay. Now in these two tables, we can see that in the first table we have a supplier starting with 1000, and then next supplier is 1001, 1002, 1004. Next table, if you relate, first order is from Walmart. Second order is from Kroger. How you know? By the supplier ID. By the supplier ID. By the supplier ID. In the second table, we don't have supplier name, but still we are able to see what is the supplier name, because we can correlate this 1001 with here. Now the third order is from Publix, but we have another order that is from an unknown supplier because it's supplier ID 1003, we don't have it in first table. Is it clear? And in the first table, we have a supplier, then that doesn't have any order. Now let me do a full join of this. So the reason I wanted to bring this so that I can show you the full join. Now let's go there. Select what? Supplier ID, and then hold on. Select supplier ID, and then okay, let's bring it. Supplier name, and then order ID, and then order date from suppliers. No, I'm doing it full join. Suppliers full. Okay. Yeah, yes. Okay. Yes. Full join orders O on S dot supplier ID equal to O dot supplier ID. Supplier ID. Right? It will show an error. What is that? What is that? Supplier. Order supplier ID, right? What is that? Now, column ambiguously defined. What does this mean? Column ambiguously defined. What does this mean? See, we are saying supplier ID, but in the both table we have supplier ID. In the both table, what we have? Supplier ID. Remember, DESC what? Suppliers. DESC suppliers. What? We have a supplier ID field, right? DESC orders. What do we have? Supplier ID. Can you see in both table we have supplier ID? So that's why it is saying column ambiguously. But Arsan is understanding that what? What's up to this order table is 5, but other ones have it. Whatever Barchar, but the order ID is 10, but it is the name is same. Okay. So what you will have to do is write on the suppliers. What you will have to do in this one, you will have to write suppliers dot supplier ID. Now, do I need to write whole suppliers or I can write S? Yes. No, it's just S. S because I aliased supplier, so I can write S dot supplier ID. Yeah. Now it's work. Do you think it will work now? Yes. Give me one more, like one more water dot water ID. Now, order ID we don't, because order ID we don't have it. We don't have the common. No, this is how it's work. But the S is gonna work if you declare S later on. Later on, but still it will work. How is it work? As long as you are declared. Work now. Okay. Now let me execute. Now let me find out how full join is working. Full join, what it will do? It will bring everything from each side. Everything from each side. Let me bring it here. Now can you see we have 1000. Can you see in this order table we have a order from Walmart and the date is 20, right? then we have a order from 1001, that is Kroger on 21st. We got it right, and then we have a order on 22nd from Publix, right? We have it. Now, can you see after that in the left hand side we have a supplier 1000 for Best Buy, but he doesn't have any order. That's why his information is blank. And then if you go to the right hand side, we have a order that doesn't have corresponding supplier in the left table. Now can you see we have a order ID and order date, but this supplier is not in the left table, in the supplier table. Now can you see it is combining data from both tables?
Right.
Now, is it full and understandable now? It is now? Any question? No. Okay. If you do not have a question, I'll go to the result of the exam. Now, can I stop recording?
Yeah.
Right.
But you're sending today.
It will be different. It takes time to process the result. So I'll be sending it as quick as possible.
These things recording.
Yeah, recording as quick as possible. But did you understand everything? What I did? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to also besides this one, I'm going to copy these commands here, and I'll try to send it. But thank you guys for joining. Let me stop recording here.